Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So sorry if it's all shaky. When I first started the channel, I had my my nail broke, but whatever, that's not important. Anyway, I had this selfie stick that I would set my phone up on, or I would set it on the back tire, but just the way things have been going, I can't find the selfie stick for one, and for two, setting it up on the back tire just isn't feasible right now because I'm not up in the mountains anymore. So anyway, sorry about the quality. I'm trying to work it out. Right now I'm in the front seat of my car. It's overcast right now, so I think the lighting's actually almost just perfect, but my car has a shake to it when it's idling, since it's a 2000, so just forgive me on that. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about today was Planned Parenthood. I saw this headline saying that I think they said 125 or 165, I think it was 125 Planned Parenthoods are expected to be shut down in California because of budget cuts. Now, that's a lot of Planned Parenthoods, just for one. That's what I was thinking. But they didn't say all. They didn't say the whole thing was, like, Planned Parenthood itself was going to be shutting. And I do remember when I was a teenager going there, because I have had problems with, like, endometriosis and stuff. But I, ultimately ended up going to a real OBGYN for what was going on, because they weren't going to give me any painkillers or anesthetics or anything like that. So, and I know that they could have, because I talked to a doctor after that said that they used to work there and they could have offered that, but they didn't, and I ended up passing out from the pain. I know there's the whole abortion ban in some states. I don't really know how many states Planned Parenthood. I just thought of that. I should look that up, make another video. But anyway, my main point is that I've gone to locations, because when I needed to get the procedure. I was searching for the right location, and if they offered what I needed and all that, and my insurance ended up covering it. So, and I know a lot of the procedures that Planned Parenthood does. I know they're heavily donation based, and even when you go to walk out the back door, they ask you if you want to make a donation. So pretty much what I'm saying is, I'm not sure how many that would exactly leave in California, but I've lived all around California. And for instance, when I used to live in Sacramento, there was one down Watt Avenue. There was one down, so if you went all the way down Watt Avenue from like point A to point B, and Watt Avenue is really long, it stretches almost the whole of Sacramento, you would see so many Planned Parenthoods. And I had went into a couple that were like a ghost town. There were like nobody in there. And then at the same time of the day, on the same day of the week, I went into another one, like it was downtown Sacramento, and it was just full of people. So, I don't think that they need that many. Like, realistically speaking, I know that it's very important, birth control, prenatal care, postnatal care, everything like that. I know that that's really important. There's STD testings. They also give free condoms, everything like that. But there's a lot of healthcare workers that work in Planned Parenthood, and there's also a lot of people who aren't healthcare workers. You got the people answering the phones and at the desk, all kinds of stuff. But they're not exactly that professional. in my opinion, in my experience. Some of them are more professional, but the way they handle themselves and their patients, I would suggest just going to a regular OBGYN if you have health insurance. And I know that most Americans, not just in California, most Americans have some form of health insurance. So if they do shut down 150, 125, I know it sounds like a lot. That sounds like so many buildings. I understand that. But I can tell you for a fact that, California is not as big as it seems, right? Because there's like a lot of fields and there's just a lot of areas where there's no people living, there's no building structures or any of that. So we're talking like in the cities, like these little crowded areas. That's what I'm thinking, all these little cities. Like there's huge portions of California where there's no reason there would be Planned Parenthood. They're not like all spread out across the state. So if they were to close 125, I know it could and probably would affect people who depend on that specific Planned Parenthood. But maybe you'll end up finding somewhere better. Maybe if you do have health insurance and you're like, okay, now I have to find an OBGYN. Okay, it's going to be a pain in the butt. I completely understand that. But maybe you might end up finding a better experience like I did. Because my procedure ended up going well. I wasn't sedated, but I was pretty much sedated for the procedure. And it was just great. Everything ended up working out great. They had put on music when I was laying down. The OB, there was like little stars on the top. They turned the lights off. There was this like relaxing picture. They put on like I said, they put on music, but they put on like Zen music. They had me actually pick the tune. It just ended up being a really good experience. And I had tried to get the procedure twice at Planned Parenthood, and like I already previously mentioned, I didn't get any form of medication, nothing like that. There was nothing relaxing like that. The lights were blaring in my eyes. The anxiety was through the roof. I was really young. So, my mom didn't have to be there, but because I was under the age of 18, and so when I went to the OB, my mom did have to be there, and I thought, I could just do it on my own, but my mom did end up having to be there, and I miss my mom so much, bless her heart, and I appreciated that she was there. So I'm just saying it's gonna be a bad thing for some people, but for the most part, maybe the places that remain open, maybe more attention will be put on them, and they're just gonna offer a better experience to people, because that's kind of how it is, quality over quantity. That's how I look at things. So maybe the locations that are left open are going to start getting better, at what they're doing and taking better care of their patients, and not just trying to get people in and rush them out like you're just a number. Because that's how I felt. That's how I felt when I went and had those two horrible experiences. Was that I was just another number, just another person. Get in, get her in, get her out. See ya. And they really did rush when they were. I think the reason, not just because I wasn't medicated, why I passed out from the pain, but also because they were just rushing me so much, and like I said, my anxiety was so bad because I was feeling rushed. Like the OB said, like, take your time. When you're ready, you lay there. When you're nice and relaxed, you let me know. And she went and helped other patients, and then I told my mom, okay, you can tell her I'm ready. But Planned Parenthood, it was like, sit down, open your legs, let's get going. And so I was just freaking out, like I'm not ready, and they're like, we're just gonna get done real quick, like pretty much trying to talk me into it, like it's gonna be okay, like we're gonna get this done real quick. Don't worry about it. Pain's just gonna be a second. But sometimes the pain that's just a second is too overwhelming. So, yeah, I just think that everything always works out in the end, right? This is America, and our healthcare workers that care about the job, care about patients, will end up making it a better experience. And the 125 Planned Parenthoods that they're expecting could close, they're not saying for sure, but they're expecting. Maybe they're not, maybe a lot of them aren't that good, because people do donate to them. And if you have a terrible experience, why would I donate to you after I left? I'm just gonna walk out the door and be like, I'm never coming back here again. So, and no, I did never go back there again, because it was just such a bad experience. So maybe like I said, maybe the ones that are left open will step up their game. Quality over quantity. So anyway, all right. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment your opinion. And please comment and tell me some topics that you want me to talk about, because I'm going to start posting on here again. I kind of lost my spunk there for a while, but I still am a highly opinionated person. There is still a lot that I want and feel like I need to talk about. So please subscribe and like this video if you like this video. And yeah, comment down below. All right, thank you. Bye.